Okay.
So what exactly are we doing now?
So this is just a live session that I do, right? I just
Yeah.
draw, we talk, we catch up on things. It's been a minute since I've seen you. People also have
Yeah, yeah,
questions.
sure.
Me, if I get child questions, give you the things. So
No problem, no problem, no problem.
yeah, bro.
Okay, so maybe I'll also switch to my screen. I don't know exactly what you're doing now, so we just talk and draw, something like that.
Yeah, talk and draw. Talk and draw.
That's
However
good.
you feel comfortable, Charlie.
Yo, Christian, what's up? What's up?
Shout out to
Okay, so
everybody in the live. And
yeah,
welcome back to Ian because this guy, I don't know where this guy go, Charlie. I don't
yo,
know.
Nani, what's up?
But shout
Okay,
out to
so
everybody in the live, man.
yeah, sure. So maybe well, I don't really have any sensible thing now, so maybe I'll go back to the project I'm already working on. So
Sure, sure, sure.
yeah, okay.
I mean,
So
everything. Wow, wow.
it's
Look at
okay. So it's okay.
Charlie.
It's okay.
Charlie. You know what?
Okay,
Maybe I
so
should stop drawing. Maybe I should stop drawing, man.
you shouldn't stop drawing. This, this. I think this is one of the projects I'm on now, and I'm not done. I've gotten nowhere on this particular one, and
Wow.
yeah, just a little animation. Um, so I have a new character coming up for my graffiti, and this is not a character, but you know Clementi Frog, and the character essentially has all the features this guy is having now, from the catapult to the button eyes and all that. Mostly talking about things like imagine clean air and the world is stuffy, blah blah blah, those kind of things. Uh, yeah, a couple of other. Yeah, Super Mario in my own way, anyway. And yeah, so maybe I think maybe as at this point, I will just allow you to draw what you're drawing, and as we talk, I also draw something new. But
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
what you usually draw, so I would.
For me, I just draw whatever comes to mind. So I guess I have some low. I'm not on Ian's level, so I'm going to just leave the senior work to Ian, and I'm going to
uh,
Charlie. So the last time I was on live, right?
okay,
I was on live, and this is what happened. I was with Kumi Danso, Dennis,
okay,
and we were just talking about you. Like you came up, and I was mentioning how like you're one of like the best artists in the country, or not even the country, one of the best artists, period.
yeah.
Right? And you had taken like a hiatus from the internet. Like we hadn't
Social media,
seen you.
I know that.
Yeah, yeah. And we were wondering what really like what spurred you to do that.
Because I thought I could do that, so I did. Well, okay, so yeah, in the nutshell, I think it gets to some point. It gets to some point that we think maybe we have to do a small social experiment about whether we can live without, you know, everything, social media in a nutshell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just trying it for a few months, then it goes into a year, then it goes into like 2 years, right? But the other questions that might come up is, so how do you actually get the other things you used to get when you were, on social media, in terms of, for me, as also as an artist, maybe commission works and stuff like that. but my answer would be the same as I've been saying. I mean, there was hip hop and all those. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I kept getting things like that, and it was easy. It was easy for me because I think after some time, you get acclimatized to the fact that maybe it's not that you don't need it, but then you are not on it. So I mean, you take it like that, you know. Yeah, basically that was it. But it's not because anything significant happened. Some other things happened earlier, and I was like, let me just take some time off and work on other things too, you know. So through that, I have the new character I'm talking about. I'm going to launch it like next month, and for basically everything I do, graffiti and all that. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's it. I don't know what I'm doing now, but yeah, maybe you have to write sensible things, nice things that people, yeah, I think nice things, maybe motivational things or something. Like, yeah, with
I see. I see.
my
So,
fire.
so some people will wonder, right? Like some people
Yeah,
think graffiti and they think of tea, then they think of like the
vandalism.
US and stuff. They don't associate it with Ghana. So how did like can you give us a history about the graffiti in Ghana and why maybe you partake in it?
Oh, okay. Well, I can't really start with the actual like origins of like graffiti in Ghana. But I know for me, I've been doing it for some time. So, well, I'll talk about myself. I'll talk about other people who I knew before I entered the space. Right. So, graffiti is synonymous to maybe the United States first, and I mean I'm talking about the history, right? And then in terms of popular like graffiti culture. Then it goes to other places across, like even across Europe, and well, we have the southern part of America. Then I think the last place would be Africa, you know. But when it comes to Ghana, what what really is graffiti now is just an evolution of what we had the normal street murals, you know, the normal street murals getting into the space of street art, which we call graffiti here. You know, and sometimes we are using the term graffiti against street art, maybe loosely because it's not supposed to be like that. Graffiti has its own foundation, from tags to throw up to having your own letters, characters, pieces, and all those. These are graffiti parlance. So other things like how do you call it? Other things like having the actual graffiti artists and all those things in Ghana, for example, would be a little bit difficult for me to say. But I know way back there were crazy writers like Bushke, Kwamina Danso, who still does that. Then, then the today graffiti artists too are there. For me, my experiences were from taking a cue from taking the Source magazine, Vibe magazine, and those kind of magazines from barbershop when I visit the barbershop. And these are amazing artworks that I see there. And even though we don't do some here, I try to do some in my book and later get some cheap knockoff cans and start doing it on the wall. That is how mine started. I know other people are doing it, and I cannot really say there's that language, right? There's that language of graffiti in Ghana right now. I can't really say that, but I know a lot of people, a couple of people are working out things to make
Uh-huh.
graffiti become a good thing, in Ghana in terms of its own language. But the language of Ghana graffiti, graffiti in Ghana, sorry, the language of graffiti in Ghana, I don't really know.
Okay.
I can't tell. Yeah.
I see. But okay, like if you think of graffiti, right?
Uh huh.
In abroad, like in America, some people like associate it with hip hop. Is there a close association with hip hop and graffiti in Ghana, or is it its own little thing?
Okay, so like I said earlier,
Yeah.
because because graffiti and street art is synonymously used here, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We can't really place a finger on what actual graffiti is, but I can tell you that we have amazing street artists and street art here.
Okay.
In that
Cool.
case,
Cool.
you and I will not be able to talk about the graffiti subculture, which is also in hip hop. You know,
Okay.
it's not
Yeah.
like that. The foundation, yeah, the foundation of graffiti in quotes in Ghana is not based on graffiti that you see in, anywhere, Philadelphia, anywhere that you would
Cool.
originally see graffiti from. That is why I initially said the language of graffiti is not really found here. But then street art is amazing, like different kinds of street art. It's really like, I think most of the artists are really proficient when it comes to, doing amazing street art. But when it comes to, like you're saying, the association of, for example, hip hop, other kind of like crew affiliations and stuff like that, it's not like that here. Because
Okay.
technically, where you are now, there are smaller groups of graffiti, like let me say graffiti gangs or graffiti crews, and then
Yeah.
you know them by the kind of things they do, and these people are different from these people. They even have a style and all those things. It's not like that here, right? It's not
Mm.
like that here.
Okay.
So we can't also, link it to the original like subculture hip hop that it has, even with the dance and all that. So
Yeah.
you are looking at what is called Ghanaian graffiti, and you're not seeing dance, hip hop, the microphone. You're not seeing the arrows. You're not seeing all those things in a regular throw up, right? Because we are doing correct street art, but just a little of graffiti, yeah, just to
Okay.
make it, yeah, just point that out.
I see.
So yeah,
That's
for us,
dope.
that's what we have.
Good. 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 I like that. I like that. I think that is important to like tell the story of these types of things so that like people understand exactly like where things are coming from and where things are going because like
Yeah,
um you know a lot of times if you don't tell your story people will come in and tell it for you you know.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I know like you are a notable dude when it comes to like graffiti in Ghana. I also know like people who do morals and stuff like Moa Udu and Skyscraper.
Yeah,
Skyscraper is also
yeah,
another really good, talented
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So,
there are a couple of them, right? But
hmm
when it comes to who is a writer, who is a muralist, who is a that, we can actually have correct like categories for all of them, right?
okay,
Even though we would call all that each and everyone does graffiti, like under the umbrella graffiti, it's technically me saying this. Technically, that will be doing street art, and in Ghana.
hello, Rod. Can you hear me? Ann, I can't really hear you, bro. If you can, oh, yo, can you guys hear me in the chat? Let me know if you can hear me, cause bro.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, cool, cool, cool. It seems like it cut out for a bit. I don't know if it was me that cut out or anyway, Charlie.
Oh,
Then you were saying that you can categorize like
wait.
people.
Yeah. So my point is in Ghana, we have the bigger of the umbrella, which is street art, and under that we have the niche or the smaller group of people doing what is called graffiti, right? So it's it's not about whether it's difficult or not, but it's easy to find a lot of people doing street art, and they might be muralists, they might be anything. But then we also have like graffiti writers, right? even to the core of people who do only tags. You're not going to find a full like piece, like end-to-end piece, or even a throw up of those particular people's works. You're going to find only their signatures, and they are actual like graffiti artists. That's what they are. That's what they do. You
Mm.
know. But we can't go into the technical bit of it because I'm still repeating. We don't have the language here
Okay.
so far. Yeah.
Do you think it's important for us to find the language, or what do you think?
I think it is important for me to find a language, me, the person talking right now, right?
Okay.
Because that's how I started. Well, other people didn't start that way, right? Other people didn't start that way.
Okay.
However they evolved from wherever they were into that is okay, right? Whatever
Okay.
they are doing is okay because, like I'm saying, there is street art, so we shouldn't take that one away from anyone. The only thing is left to the graffiti writers to define what they are doing well, right? My little space, I'll try and do that because it's not very necessary to, or it's not compulsory to have characters in your work, but it's good to do that as a graffiti writer. It's good for you to know lettering, right? It's good
Hmm.
for you to have letters when you're building a piece. It's good for you to understand tagging, right? It's good for you to know how to do your end-to-end piece. It's good for you to collaborate on a particular like theme, for you to have all these things I've mentioned in a piece, even if you're not the only one doing it, right? And that is what brings the language. To me, it's necessary for that to be out there, but you cannot force anybody to do what you're already doing. I hope you get what I'm saying.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. So because of that, I can't force someone, yo, why are you not doing letters? Right? Your lettering should be on point and do more. And why are you doing only this? Because you're supposed to add this, and I'm not the one who calls who calls the shots when it comes to things like that. But if they want to do it, well, it's on them. They can do it to, make it a beautiful kind of subculture for us also here, because we, of course, we didn't start that. We have African art and all those things, but this is an urban kind of art, and it is nice if you are already jumping on board. And I understand even you, right? Even you or any other, or even me or any other person would like to say, well, you are in Ghana, so you have to do it the Ghanaian way. It's good. It's just like trying to do anything in your style. But if you don't understand the fundamentals of that style, you can't have it as your own. You can't have
Okay.
it as your own. You're going to have a bastardized version of whatever you saw, because you don't even understand. It's just like cultural misappropriation. But
Hmm.
I wouldn't be too hard on that here, because, like I'm saying, if you don't understand the basis or the fundamentals or the foundation of a particular thing, the style or whatever, you don't have you don't have the all the resources to say, I'm trying to do it my own. I'm trying to do it my own. You just be doing a bullshit version of whatever you saw. So yeah, basically that's it.
I see. So, um, with you in particular, right? I know
Yeah,
that your artistic journey was not like the traditional route per se. Like you didn't go through the academic process like a lot of other people did.
yeah.
So, what really got you into art, and then why didn't you go that route?
I did not go. Okay, I don't. I did not go through that route because growing up, I was drawing just like everybody would say. I've been drawing my whole life, but my my academic the on the academic ladder, I'm doing science. Right? I'm doing
Hmm.
science because of influences off and from my dad and my other family members. And I really love science. I still love science, right? I love science. I love science. I love concept theories and all those things. But I feel I I creatively would like to put things together, not as an inventor, right? But as someone who can put inspirational aesthetics in front of people for them to enjoy. And I see me drawing or me painting or me doing anything like that more in the arts side than in the science side. Right, so it took me a long time. So I did everything I needed to do as a scientist or a science student, and whilst I was doing that, I was still practicing small arts and all that until it got to a point I realized, okay, let me. So I've done a couple of things, making it easy for me because I wasn't in, like you're saying, the traditional system of going to an art school, blah blah blah. So I have a computer. It's easy for me to learn graphics without drawing or painting on a canvas. So I do that for a long time before I enter other parts of art. So yeah, that's how it's been for me.
Okay, that's great. I mean, my older brother is an artist. He didn't go the traditional routes, and he's one of the best artists I know. A lot of
Oh, that's
people
good.
feel like if you don't go the traditional routes, then you're not really part of, you know. But
Yeah, it might be so. It might be so, but on the other hand, I think maybe some few years ago it could have been like positively said that way. But now, since a lot of how do you occupations out there are not they are not dealt with on like in that way because tomorrow I can decide to be a baker, right? And maybe I didn't even think about going to any culinary like art school or maybe any catering school,
mm,
right? Even though I was supposed to, just like other people did home economics and then they go to catering school and whatever they do, I can decide to maybe learn from YouTube because I'm passionate about it, or maybe take a short course, or I don't even take any course. I'll just start doing cake and stuff like that. So and then nobody will say anything about that. The makeup artists and all those people, nobody said anything about what they do. So just like you and myself and a couple of other people, we cannot do photography. We cannot do photography, even though we didn't learn photography like in a school or something like that. We
mhm.
learned it doing other things. So I feel because of that, it doesn't really matter. Maybe some years ago it mattered, but now it doesn't really matter.
Okay, I agree with you, man. I agree with you 110%. A lot of people regard you though, like a lot of people regard you as like one of the most influential artists in the country.
Oh,
You, you,
that's nice. That's nice to hear.
like you're up there, man. You're up there. A lot of people
Yeah,
regard you as
you're
such.
drawing sketchbook, right? You're drawing
Yeah,
sketchbook now.
of
Okay,
course,
cool,
of
cool.
course.
I'm
Yeah,
motivated. That's good.
yeah, man. When I'm on my Galaxy tablet, I draw in Sketchbook, and when I'm on my iPad, then I draw in Procreate. But I don't know. I'm
Oh,
just so
okay.
used to drawing on the Galaxy tablet that it's just become part of me, man. I can't do without it.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I draw on both though. Like when I'm done with this, I can export the PSD into the
Okay,
iPad.
so for me, um, sketchbook versus Procreate or whatever, I always go for sketchbook. I've been I've been going on sketchbook for a long time. I like that.
Yeah,
I don't I don't necessarily I love Procreate because Procreate is my alternative for Photoshop when it comes to me drawing on the iPad,
yeah.
right? Because I don't have Photoshop and I don't want to have it. And I
Why?
think Procreate is also a powerful tool, so it replaces my Photoshop. So
What's wrong
what
with
I've done on
Photoshop, bro?
Photoshop, what I would have done on Photoshop, I would rather do it on I think Procreate. But I love sketchbook. So I'm trying to mirror what you are doing in my own style. I don't know what you are doing. I didn't know what to do when we started
Yeah,
this
man.
conversation. So yeah, we can go on with the conversation. I'll try and mirror what you're doing. Yeah.
Cool, cool. No problem, man. I'm
And I'm
just
holding my
trying like
phone.
to
See,
draw
you,
something. Anything in my
you
mind, I'm
kind of
just
caught
putting
me
it down.
off guard. You caught me off guard. I'm holding my phone, so it's very difficult for me to do everything. I
Sorry,
think next time
bro.
I should prepare full. I should prepare well and get
But
a
yeah,
stand or
man.
something. Yeah.
I kind of just took it like, oh, I'm just gonna draw and then talk to my. That's what I did the last time. I just drew and then I talked to Kumida and Sweni.
Okay,
I was
but
like,
then
no, you're an artist, so you gotta draw with me, bro.
okay, so yeah, you see, because I'm thinking I really don't want I don't want to I want my voice to be on a live. Is it possible?
To
Just
be
my
on live?
voice, so you don't have either my front camera or my back camera.
Yeah, I think so.
So
You can turn off the
it's
camera.
possible. Then let me go off. Let me just go off. So let me
Nah,
just go off.
man,
So
you're drawing. I
you
want to see what you're drawing, bro. Don't do that, bro.
I
I like
get
what
you.
you're
I can't
drawing.
draw with I need to draw with two hands. See, I'm using the same hand to zoom and all those things. Okay, no problem. Let's continue. Yeah, so
I mean,
I'm here. Let's
that's
continue.
the this is skills. This is real skills because he's drawing with one hand. That's the real talent. I'm doing
Is
two
that what you're
hands.
doing? I'm copying you. Think about that. I'm copying you. If we're in school, I'm the copycat.
Oh, come on, man. I knew people who used to copy, right? And they'll get higher grades than the person they were copying from, man.
Yeah. Because they copied from several sources.
Of course, man. Sometimes what did Steve Jobs say? He said real artists he said great artists steal.
Yeah. No, no,
So
no, no.
something like
The
that.
ones that copy and the ones that steal. Yeah, okay. Relative steal. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He said something of the sort. I'm paraphrasing, but
Good. So something like good artists copy, great artists steal.
yeah, something of the sort. Something. So I subscribe to that, you know. Shout out to all
Yeah.
the U-Torrent warriors, man. We've been stealing since day one.
I think I can't match up with what you're doing since I'm doing one hand thing. Yeah, but let's
Bro.
continue with the conversation.
Yeah, man. So, uh, okay, I just want to clarify one thing. You just said you don't want to use Photoshop. What is that about, man?
Oh, nothing. I mean, but I've been using Photoshop for a long time.
A
So
long
maybe
time. A long
yes,
time.
it's about time. It's about time I find like alternatives that are great, right? And I think, for me, I think when it comes to me using the iPad is not a computer, right? So when it comes to me using the iPad, I'm not going to use Photoshop for the kind of things I used to do in Photoshop. I'll just use iPad, which has more resources at least. At least when it comes to the iPad, Procreate has a lot of resources.
Yeah.
Than Photoshop. Even though Photoshop itself has, you see what I'm doing. I'm using the two finger click thing. Doesn't work
Yeah.
here.
The
It
the
doesn't
funny
work
thing
here.
is, the other day I was on my iPad and I was wondering, can I do mock-ups on Procreate? And lo and behold, I was able to do a full
Yeah,
mock-up,
you can
everything.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So to
so
me,
Procreate
it's
is
my
powerful,
Photoshop.
man.
Yeah,
Oh
it's my
yeah,
Photoshop. So that's the reason why I would not want to use Photoshop like on.
I see. Are you still there, bro? The voice cut out. Hello?
Yeah, I think a call was coming. Yeah, there
Ah,
was a call coming through. That's why.
the money is calling, bro. That's the money calling. So, one thing I know about you, you do a lot of exhibitions, and it's all in digital arts, which is like out of the norm. I don't think it's all in digital art, but I do know that you did a lot in digital art. So that makes you
Yeah.
a pioneer in a way of digital arts in Ghana.
Oh, yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah, I would. Yeah, maybe I'm one of the few, not few. Now there are a lot of people, so maybe I'm one of the people who started doing one or two things in digital art. Uh, so the digital art space, maybe because that time you still had to get something done and you don't know how to do it. I'm not going to wait for someone else to come and tell me, okay, you can exhibit only when you have, you know, a, a material canvas. So you don't have that thing, so you can't exhibit and all that. So I had to start creating some of my own exhibitions. Yeah.
Mm. And how did you start that for somebody who wants to start? doing something like that? How do you start your own
Okay,
exhibition?
so you see, if yeah, I mean, we are still having the conversation, but you know me better than maybe some other people, and you know most of my things are from Takoradi. I'm a Tadi guy, right? I like
Yep.
I like being in Ghana, but I love being in Tadi. That's the thing, and yeah, so maybe I would say the space that I find myself, which is Tadi, as at that time. I don't have I don't have the luxury of getting all these art things. So if I need to do something there, I have to wait for somebody to come and do it, right? And that'll take a long time. So I started doing things. Now the funny thing is because a lot of those things don't happen, you can do anything you like. So that's how I started. You know, I started doing anything I like because in Takrady, there's really, I'm still saying there's really not that much of, even exhibitions and stuff like that happening. So who can tell me not to exhibit this way or I should, if you don't exhibit this way, it's not good for, nobody can tell me that, as at that time. So I just decided to do that. And really, I was scared. I was scared to do that in Accra or Kumasi, right? Because I can't do that in Accra or Kumasi because I'm thinking digital art as at that time. So if I say it as at that time, I'm talking about my first exhibition. It was global. It wasn't just Ghana or Accra or anywhere. It was global. That a lot of people were saying digital art is not art. It's still there though, but it's not a lot of people who say that now that digital art is not art. You can't say that. Hey, there's NFTs. Say that again, and we'll see. You see what's going to happen to you. You can't say
Exactly.
that. Yeah, you can't say that thing anymore. But as at that time, we had a great number of people who thought it's not real art. Let me put it that way. It's not real art. So, or it's a bullshit kind of art. You shouldn't be doing those kind of things. Yeah, we had those kind of people. So I was scared to do it in a highly prolific place like Accra, where the art is really going on, and decided to do it where I come from and where I am. You know, it worked. So I decided to do another one and another. And as at this point, at least one or two people would have heard or would have known about the possibility of a digital art exhibition, right, in a space when they are actually not, virtual or digital. So digital art in print in a space. So yeah, that's what I did at the beginning.
Mm,
I think
that's
I'm still.
interesting.
Yeah. So
So,
I had
mhm.
an exhibition. My last solo show was last year November. So even though I was not like on social media, I still had one. Yeah.
How was it? How did it go? Was it great as
Oh
usual?
yeah, yeah, it was, and so that one also, so yeah. Since we are talking about stuff, for me, I'll talk about this. Yeah, so aside the things I do, I'm also like a wildlife activist, and
Yes, I know that.
yeah, an environmentalist. Yeah, so I do stuff.
Hello. Sorry, bro. You cut out again.
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, hello. Yeah, so
yeah.
I just
I can hear you
yeah,
now.
so yeah, so I mean, I do things like I do work on things on endangered birds, other courses in environmentalism, wildlife, and stuff like that. But then I also work sometimes in I also work on gender equality and stuff like that. Last year's exhibition it was on it was on violence against women, right? The kind of the institutional violence against women, the kind of bullying or anything that is whether physical, psychological, mental, any kind of abuse against women, right? And it so happened I decided to do it on the International Day for Eradication of Violence Against Women, which was the 25th of November. and a
Mm.
couple of people came. Yeah, I think it was a three. It was a 1 week exhibition. Yeah, so a couple of people came, and yeah, it was great. It was great because it was about me trying to lay out the dangers in things like that, the things that women go through in school, you know, in the school, in the church, in the society, on social media, at the workplace, and other places that women might feel uncomfortable because other people are making them so, right? Also into other like higher levels of sex trafficking and all those kind of things. Yeah. So it was great. That was a little bit of difference when it comes to other things I've exhibited before. Because it was kind of odd because that was my first that was my first public exhibition on that. Although other ones I've done earlier they were just online. Yeah, I'd already done two, but they were just online.
I see. I see. And a lot of people feel like art is not really lucrative in Ghana. Do you feel like you found lucrative success with the art exhibitions and the stuff you do?
Oh yeah. For me, I was okay. What you're saying is true. Right. I'll start from there. What you're saying is true, but for me, I would also say it's very true. But then sometimes you just get lucky, right? Or because of how you've been working over time, things start to become. Oh, what's happening to my brush? Things start to become a bit better. I can tell you
Mm.
for a fact that yeah, I can tell you for a fact that as it stands now, as it stands now, there are various sectors of art in the country. Now I know you're not talking about other kinds of art. I know the kind of art you're talking about. So
Yeah.
fine art, contemporary art, painters and all those kind of things. Yeah. So it's kind of lucrative right now. The only thing is I cannot point fingers at other other places that I don't really know about. But I know for one that if you are doing morals, it's good. It's an amazing way to do what you love, do it well, and earn money, right? If you are doing morals, whether it's as we call graffiti, street art, or anything, it's good. If you're a creator, it's also good for you. If you're doing exhibitions, it's also good for you because as of now, comparing now to maybe 10 years ago, a lot of people understand what art is, right? The value of art, at least, the what people bring to the table or bring on board, and also the art market here itself. A lot of people are getting to understand it. A lot of people are learning it. A lot of people are, trying to work off those kind of things. So to me, I think maybe this conversation we are having, if we had it 10 years ago, we'd all be crying. But nah, it's not like that now. It's not like that anymore.
Okay.
What's happening?
I've heard some good stories from some people. I've heard bad stories, so it's always good to get everybody's perspective. You know.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. 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 And you being from Tardy, how is the art scene in Tardy in particular, and how is it
I,
different than
I
Accra?
it's okay. So I would say it's it's not it's not advanced like it's not really advanced like we have in Accra, right? Also because of course Accra is maybe the capital or city. Takoradi is on the other side, and when it comes to a lot of people with different. So Accra has like that variety of culture. Takoradi has its own culture, right? But then people in Accra, a lot of people in Accra are from Accra and Takoradi and Kumasi and Tamale from different places. Takoradi is not like that. Of course, there are other people too there, but we have main Takoradi people living there, so they have their own lifestyle and all those things. I could also tell you that Takoradi even has one of the biggest like masquerade parties at the end of the year, right? Or carnivals at the end of the year, which is also a culture for Takoradi itself. right? And it's also part of art and culture, although it's not what we are talking about now. Takrady, when it comes to painting and those kind of things, I know because there's the institution there, the Takrady Technical University, that has the painting department. Things like that might be happening, although I don't really see it manifesting in the whole like city, just in the school itself. I feel maybe a couple of people like me and other people I don't really know are trying to do one or two things, but we can't compare it to Accra. It's kind of slow, but yeah, I think maybe as time goes on, things will be different.
Mm, okay. And in terms of Ghana, where do you think the best place to do art is?
Accra?
Okay. I mean, that's the obvious answer
Yeah.
for most people. But I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
hoping you
yeah.
would have said something different.
No, 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 no. I'm not going to say anything different. I'm not going. You see, I'm not going to say anything different. But then, if you further ask me, that maybe, what do I, what do I think, what do I think this particular kind of art is looking like
Hmm.
in the next 5 years, I could tell you that although Accra, because you see, you're talking about art in general, what you're doing now, what I'm doing, what everybody is doing. Now,
Yeah,
for especially for what you are doing, you see, you're not even in Ghana, but we are doing the same thing. But you also identify as a Ghanaian, right?
of
So
course. Yeah.
we can easily add you to Ghanaians. We can easily exempt you from Ghanaians because
Yeah.
because of the medium we are working on, right? But when it comes to others like or other disciplines like maybe hardcore fine art, like fine art that are exhibited in traditional like museums or galleries, I'll still say Accra, right? But then currently, when it comes to like, I'm not going to talk about street art. I'm going straight to graffiti. When it comes to graffiti, in the next few months, next few years, sorry, next few years is even too much. In the next year, there's a hub in Ghana that's really doing a lot when it comes to graffiti in Ada. That's what I'm looking at because Ada is also trying to bring a different kind of culture of its own, mixing it with like hard graffiti, you know, like hard graffiti from like the originators of graffiti. So yeah, when it comes to this kind of conversation, that's how I see it. Obvious Accra is
Mm,
Accra, but in specific things, I'll choose different places.
cool, cool. And what do you think about streetwear? Because streetwear is, I think, an extension of street art in a way, and it's becoming very popular in Ghana right now. You have groups like Free the Youth and other groups coming up. What do you think about streetwear?
Oh, okay. So for me, I think streetwear. It's I will talk from my personal like point of view. Also, as a graffiti artist, I think it's a very wonderful inclusion to the the whole hip hop subculture and also graffiti subculture, right? And when we have a lot of those happening, and I'm not even seeing that as an escape from fashion. I'm seeing it as uh, straight urban and like a hip hop breakout, right? That's how I'm seeing it. I'm not seeing it as a contemporary like form of fashion because when it comes to streetwear itself, like my me again, myself and my guys from way back, we had we had a particular streetwear, cool stuff, hyperwear, urban wear, and most of the things we're doing were highly experimental and well, just like that. We don't really care how it is, but we found out a lot of people were buying, right? Then it dies out. The culture of clothing line, when it comes to that kind of, I don't mean the other fashion. And I don't mean couture and stuff like that. That one dies out, and all of a sudden, like it comes up again. I think it's a good time for things like that to come up. And for me, these would be wonderful inclusions to once again as a graffiti artist to the graffiti culture, the graffiti language itself. And yeah, it's to me it's cool. It's a very
Hmm.
nice thing happening once again.
Okay, that's good to hear. So, you know, when you look at art, right, the natural expansion of art has been happening for a while. So
Yeah,
at a point we are all drawing to traditional. Me, I was even very late to the digital art scene because I thought that it was whack, at first. And then
yeah, yeah,
people
yeah,
like you, people like Kumi Dance, you guys were the guys who put me on to um digital art. So you after that you've seen it grow and become NFTs. And now we have
yeah,
something called AI art. We have
yeah,
like
yeah,
websites like DALI 2,
yeah.
Midjourney.
Mid journey, all that.
Exactly. So what are your thoughts on that? Is it going to take away the traditional artists? I'm not even a traditional artist because me personally, I think it's more of a threat to people who do
Dig-
digital
yeah,
arts.
digital. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so for me, I would say let's go back to a few steps like what you said before you
Hmm.
took it back. Traditional art, right? Traditional art in its own form. Let's go back two steps, maybe modern art. Then
Hmm.
from modern art, we have contemporary art, right?
Yeah.
From contemporary art, we have a long stall and it's still stalling. But then there's digital art now, whether you like it or not. There is digital art now, even though it's marrying the contemporary art at the same time, which means some digital artists straight up say they are doing, contemporary art, and it's good. It's happening. Digital art is there, but traditional art is still there. Now AI art will be there. AI art can so far what the AI is doing is trying to recognize images from every image based like website, right? And I understand that. So it can take pieces of your artwork, my artwork, images, anything at all to create something nice based on the sentence and also reference images and stuff like that. So it could create something nice. We are going to have amazing like AI artists do their work, but then it's not going to take out so I'll use the word here loosely, the traditional digital artist, because if you have used any of those so far, now I'm not even talking about the next 10 years issue here, but if you have used any of those so far, you'd understand that it doesn't necessarily create exactly what you want.
Hmm.
My point is, you see what you are doing right now, you see what you are doing to the nose right now,
Yeah.
the AI will not be able to do that. So no matter what happens, there would still be the chance of digital artists continuing what they are doing. Of course, the AI art will come because that's what is there now, but it doesn't mean it's taking out like what already exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like that point of view because me personally, my point of view is that it's going to be an addition, just like digital art
Yes.
is an
Yes.
addition. But I
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
think it's the saving grace for traditional art, right? So earlier on, right, we were talking about you also mentioned that people legitimately feel like if you're a digital artist, you're not a real artist. People still say
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
feel like you
Yes.
just touch a few buttons and then after you're done, you come up with something. They don't see what me and you are doing right now on our tablets, how we're actually
Yeah.
mixing color,
But
and it's the
but
same
but then
thing.
okay. Okay. Cool.
Y-
But you know
Yeah.
you know that
Hello. Yeah. Are you still there? Hello. Let's wait for him to connect one more time.
I had a call coming through.
No problem, man. No problem. It's part of the life.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So well, you're talking, but I was also saying, well, I was, well, no, continue what you're saying. Continue what you're saying.
Okay. If I can quite remember, what I was saying is that people feel like they still feel like traditional art, right,
Yeah,
is superior to digital art. They still feel like
yeah,
it's not real art because they think we're
yeah,
just pressing buttons here and
yeah,
there,
yeah,
and then we come up with something. And it's not even in Photoshop. It's not even like that. You have to really know what you're doing in Photoshop or in
yeah,
Procreate. You have to know the warp
yeah,
tool. You have to understand proportion. You have to understand a
yeah,
whole
yeah,
bunch. So in some
yeah,
ways, it's just as difficult. It can be more difficult. It can be less difficult depending on what kind of artist you are. The same can
yeah,
be said for like traditional arts. The depending on the type of artist you are, you might just splatter some paint here and there, and you're done because that's the type of artist you are. So, in your view,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Looking at that, uh, how would I say, like, what is your view based on that, and then how do you like relate that to people's fear of AI arts?
Oh, you mean in terms of AI art taking
Yeah,
over digital art and making it a safe space for traditional art once again?
yeah,
Well, I honestly feel anything like this that happens starts with a bunch of people saying a lot of things and it's moving from one point to another. So we have a good revolution happening, right?
hmm
It's it's going to bring amazing kind of art. And you see, when digital art became was on the rise, we knew what digital art looks like. It was just straightforward. We know what it looks like. So when a traditional painter is painting, he can say, I'm painting to make it look like digital art, right? We also know, or with time, we are going to know how AI art looks like. I mean, I think if you've been observing it for quite some time, the moment you see an art, you can suggest in your head, oh, this is probably AI.
yeah, yeah, one
Because
hundred percent.
they are all going in a particular theme right now, right? So I would say when it comes to they doing that, when it comes to AI doing its art, at least I can confidently say AI art is mostly matte painting, not
hmm
illustration. AI is not currently doing illustration. AI cannot illustrate Mickey Mouse currently. It's not doing that. I've not seen anything closer to that because everything anyone has done is a combination of like so many it's a combination of images, which means we are doing how do you call it, a painting. So it's not even like what you are doing now. It's not like the detail of what you are doing now. It's mostly like painting and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily going to take digital art off the screen, but well, it's going to also have a space. That's what I think. Now, as to whether it's bullshit or not, that's a different thing. Then again, we come to the topic of of NFTs, what they are, how they are they good,
Okay.
are they bad, and all those kind
Then
of
what is
things.
your view on NFTs?
Okay, so well, the I've been having this conversation over and over again, and if I don't start my submission well, some people think I'm a hypocrite, but it's not so. I've always seen NFTs, right, as a very good a very good as a very good theory. Let me put it that way, right? Because for me, I used to collect comic books, so I understand what a collector is, right? I understand that when you are getting the 1987 Superman to yourself, and you know it's a collector thing as of now, and you have it, and you can trade it like in the space of comic book collectors, and that thing costs, I don't know whatever amount of dollars. You understand it. So I knew that NFTs were based on that, right? The foundation of NFTs was actually based on that, which was the truth, because we are talking about different kinds of artworks, right, or collectibles that are like non fungible, right? So I have this particular thing. I can exchange it anytime. I can sell it anytime. I can rebuy it anytime. And it's nice. But here we are. So, yeah, I don't mind if anybody mints his work because it's good. Because if you have a collection or if you have a particular set of works or whatever, maybe 5 sets of works, 12 sets of works, and you are ranking them according to how rare they are, so you get more money for whichever one. But of course, that's what you're supposed to do. The Just like any other artwork, if it is rare to find it, if it's difficult to find in the black market, which we have a new black market, which is the NFT market space, you can easily buy or sell anything that has value. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm okay to even make my own work. But where I get a little bit pissed off is I don't understand why, for example, what you've done now, like, or what I'm working on now,
Yeah.
can have variations of 10,000. I mean, you are going to list 10,000 different works of the same work, like of the same work. You see, even when we talk about the body yacht, it didn't start that way. It started with few ones, and people were interested, and some of them were, redrawn or whatever. But then because we have all those softwares that can easily do combination of your layers and give you like 10,000 words. Yo, what the hell is that? Because I don't know the value you are giving me if it's 10,000, right? Somebody might beg to differ, but I don't even know the value of my work. For example, I don't know the value of what you are doing right now. When
Mm.
at the end of the day, you are going to give me 10,000 different variations. Yo, I can't even go through 40 variations of the same thing that I'm looking at. I can't. I can't go through 40 variations to tell me, yo, you know what? This one is the one that is the most unique amongst all of them. So I like this one, and I'm going to buy this one for I don't know, example, $100. No.
Okay.
So when it comes to, and that is a generative art, right? When it comes to generative art under the category of NFTs, I'm not a big fan of that. But then if you have good works and you want to mint them, I mean, why not? Go ahead and do that. Because no, I mean, NFTs are also given, like, NFTs is helping a lot of people to also earn money and all that. So if you have the chance to earn money, why not? But if you are for the money and you don't really care about other things, well, that one is up to you.
So,
So I think the
mhm.
difference is when it comes to what the person is looking at. Is it money that I'm looking for, or do I want to do art? Because my point is, you and I are doing this, right? But
Yeah.
to everybody on earth, anybody can do NFT collection. Anyone at all. You don't need to be an artist. Just go to free pick or wherever. Look for eyes, look for head, look for this, look for combine everything in the software, whatever AI thing. It's going to it's going to give you like what? Like thousands of the same thing. You get your account on wherever, OpenSea or Mintable, wherever, you mint all of them. And if you're lucky, people will buy it. Yeah, so for me, I don't. It is a good opportunity, right? But as an artist too, who respect my work, I love money too, right? So I wish to get money with my work, but I don't subscribe to the fact that you're going to do a generative art like that. So many like useless numbers, like 10,000. Like, no, I don't. I don't think so.
Do you think NFTs are a scam?
I don't really think they're. I don't think they're scam. I don't think so.
Because
I
that's
don't think so.
the
But
major consensus for a lot of people is that NFTs are a scam and they're bad for art and for like they're just bad for the whole culture. That's what people feel. Some
well,
people.
I mean, so if you say they are bad for art, they are bad in what way? So I have told you why I think
Yeah.
they are bad. I'm talking about only generative art. You see, my art, my I don't think my artwork is bad if I make my artwork and I sell my artwork and I get whatever amount of money. I don't think it's bad, right? If
Mm.
if it works for you, I don't think it's bad. But to me, it's bullshit if you meant a lot of like the same. I don't want to say the same thing for the leader of that space, which is the board ape yacht. No, no, no. I'm talking about the new people like you and I. Like today, we get up and I go like, okay, I'm doing this flower with a face, and I'm going to do 10,000 of that straight. All of a sudden, 10. No, I don't think it's cool. But when it comes to whether NFTs are fake and it's a scam and all those, I don't think so. I don't think so. At least it didn't start that way. That was not the notion. That was not the notion. I mean, if it is now, yeah, cool. But I don't think that was why it was started.
Okay. And also on the concept of board ape, right?
Yeah.
Do you what are your thoughts of board ape with especially with like there's a lot of reported issues with them being tied to like Nazi propaganda and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stuff.
But,
So what are
yeah,
your
that
thoughts on that?
I well, I would choose to not talk about that because that you see when I decide to talk about that, I'm going to talk about their philosophies and all those things. I just want to talk about the art, right? The art, not their philosophy, the art and it being in the space of what is called NFTs, whether or not they are good, whether they are profitable, whether whether it's a lucrative thing for other artists to also get involved in, whether that's the future of art. Thinking about the fact that we have Web3, we have all the metaverse and all those things. Is it going to take over a lot of things? The opportunities are the things I'm thinking about there, right? Good
Mm,
opportunities. At the same time, just like you mentioned the scam, I'm also thinking about the fact that um, if it's a bad thing, if it's a bad investment for some people, because for some people, for collectors, it's about money over there, right?
yeah.
For artists, it's also about money, but for a lot of other artists, they want to do something like something nice, and they want to understand that I've been an artist for a long time, or I've been doing this at least, even if I'm not going to get a commission, I can put my work here, and someone might be interested in buy at a particular price because I've done the work, you know. So that is good. That is good. And we also have the bad parts and the questionable parts, whether it's a scam or not. We have those parts, but I would rather not want to talk about their philosophies, but I would like to talk about their success. It's because of them that we have like the generative art going on like right now. It's because of them. But then again, it's also because of them. So I'm going to also blame them. It's because of them that almost everyone and anyone at all who is not even an artist can mix one or two things and produce like 7,000 works just today and mint it tomorrow. Yeah.
Mm. So okay. I respect that. I respect that because I think that uh, everybody is entitled to how they want to perceive, how they want to perceive things. Even though I do
Yeah.
think it's a bit concerning that the whole propaganda aspect, but then again,
Yeah.
everybody's entitled to how they want to view that particular thing. And I think that time will tell. But when it comes to uh
Well,
when
yeah. So,
when it comes to NFTs in Ghana, right? What is it looking like right now?
oh, okay. That's a very nice question. Okay, so currently, I'll say I don't know. I'll just say I don't know because the the few people I've had conversations with that are working on NFT projects. Well, I'll be quick enough to say I'm actually working on an NFT project right now in collaboration with another friend of mine in India, right? And I've already made one. Okay, I don't want to talk about the one, but then yeah, for me, I know I have my own ideas and I know what I want to do. Other people I've spoken to, they want to do one or two things. Some people have also listed one or two things.
Okay. Hello? Hello, Charlie.
So
You there?
yeah, basically that's it. Yeah.
Oh, I think the line cut out again, bro. So I missed a
Oh,
lot of it.
oh, that's bad. That's bad. So what I was saying is, yeah, what I was saying is, I don't think a lot of people are actively like participating in NFTs in Ghana, right? Like
Okay.
as a now. Also because maybe the space that it finds itself in. NFTs they're quite profitable if you understand it well, right? But you see, you're selling. It's also a crypto based like sale of
Mm-hmm.
art. Even though we are thinking about decentralized like um, art money and all those things, we end up getting lost in that space. Is somebody going to buy my work? How do I buy somebody's work and all those kind of things? A lot of people also don't have the means to either make payments or receive payments. All these things are concerns for people in Ghana when it comes to NFTs. So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that because I think that probably looking at the economic landscape of Africa right now,
Yeah,
probably NFTs, crypto, that is probably the future for Africa
yeah,
because that's the landscape where we can probably fight an even battle and actually like not have some of the colonial blockades that we have now.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
we all know that there are some people at work that make it more difficult to do certain things for Africans. So, but
Yeah,
that's another discussion for later. You
yeah.
know. But so what do you think about the digital art scene now compared to like when you got started?
Oh, I think now I think it's amazing now. That's the only thing. That's the only word I can use. I think it's amazing. There are a lot of like amazing like artists doing a lot of things, and the contribution alone is massive. Because of that, it's not seen as see those times it was questionable. Is digital art even an art or whatever? But it's not like that anymore. People are not
Hmm.
even called digital artists anymore. Like, they're just called artists, right? Because we have all moved past the skill, right? Okay, I know how to use a tablet to draw on the computer. We have all moved past the skill to the idea or the concept of the art you're doing, right? And a lot
Hmm.
of people are looking at that now, right? Because if you take like amazing satirists doing like crazy satire works, it's no more about whether it was done on a paper or on the computer, you know. And it's when it comes to illustrators, it's no more about whether it was drawn on a paper or was done on the computer. The concepts therein are like really amazing, right? So most when it comes to art, for me, I see a lot of artists in Ghana, the digital artists in Ghana, entering a lot of spaces, and they are more like proficient and popular now. Of course, we have the traditional artists doing their stuff, but it's easy. It's quite easy to document your work. If I say document, I'm even talking about saving. When you're done with what you're doing now, you just save it easily, right? You save it easily on your tablet, and then you can share it,
Hmm.
right? But somebody needs to go and take a picture, a good picture of the whole canvas he did. He needs correct lighting and all those things before it works. So for us, like what you're doing, you have already created a work and you can share it tomorrow morning or even today. Tomorrow morning you can do another one. But when it comes to the traditional, it's not like that. So we have a lot of like digital artists now, not even calling themselves digital artists. But it's a good scene. It's a good scene or space we have in Ghana right now. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to
Hello,
hear.
Maggie. Welcome. So
Did somebody
are you
join?
checking on are you checking on the people watching because we have to introduce everybody
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
or maybe
I
welcome
can't
everybody.
see, like I'm looking at it from the computer, right? So different
Yeah.
people. are showing up on the computer. Then,
Oh, okay.
but welcome anybody to who's just now getting in. The conversation has been very, very good. Like very, 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 very good. And I'm hoping that everybody's enjoying the conversation so far.
Yeah, you've
We're
been very
also on.
understanding.
Yeah, I'm also recording for the podcast on Spotify. So after this, if you want to listen to the audio version in your free time, you can do that. And at the same time, make sure we put it on Facebook and YouTube as well, so that other people can see. Because I think a lot of people can benefit from the discussion that we're having here. I really do,
Yeah,
and I think
cool.
a lot of people should be having more artistic conversations because the art scene in Ghana, for me personally, it's I think that right now it's um I mean it's always
Before
been
you go
great.
on, you should remember you are not in Ghana.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
continue.
true. That's true. I'm not in Ghana at the moment, so like I have to give that disclaimer. But from what I can see,
Okay.
because I was there for a long time, as you well
Yeah.
know, I was there for a long time, and I went to school, studied art there. You know, I went through the process just like
Yeah.
a lot of people have, and I've seen people like just give up on it because they don't see the value of it. So to
Yeah.
see like now we have so many digital artists and some of them have great notoriety. I'm not allowed
Yeah.
to mention the person's name, but I know
Yeah.
some people who have worked with Spike Lee.
Uh-huh.
Um, I know some people who worked with Oprah from Ghana. Like they came from
Yeah.
Ghana. There are people here in Canada who don't have those kind of opportunities. So
Yeah.
to we have to look at the good, not only the bad, because in Ghana, one thing we love to do is to look at only the negative aspect and not the positive. Yeah. The negative is there. We all know the negative. We all know. We've been through it. I was there, when
Yeah.
Doomsaw was going on and I had to leave have the one side of Bombsaw to the next side just to
Yeah.
like finish an assignment. I was there. I was also broke. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times, those conversations when we're having them, it's not like I'm having it from a privileged vantage point. Charlie, I was
Yeah.
there. I was in the source. I was really in the source, man. Charlie. Even going to school and being an artist, man, my parents never liked that at all, bro. So for me personally, arts like to see arts in Ghana where it is now. I like it in that sense. Though there's still
Yeah.
some challenges. And there will always be challenges. That one is part of it, right? But it's good to see like and it's good to make sure that like we have legends like you here. Who knows? Maybe one day Alkana will talk to me. Who knows? You know,
Talk to
legends
him.
like you and
I
legends
ask
like you
him.
guys. Uh we'll see. We'll see. I don't like to air out my dirty laundry, man. Well, yeah, who knows,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But what is your look like? What do you see the future of art for the average Ghanaian artist in maybe 10 years, maybe 5 years?
Well, I think no. Okay, so I think that time, right? That time, the whole you see the art ecosystem it keeps shifting, changing, or modifying itself, right? Evolving. And because now we have different kinds of art. I'm not even talking about the NFTs anymore. Because we even have like as you are talking about it, AR art, right? The augmented reality art and all those things. A lot of things are happening now. So these kind of artists are moving into different spaces, right? Because those times you have a set designer doing the thing with the architect or whatever. Now because we need augmented like realism, if we have any new artist who is doing that in Ghana, and a lot of people are doing that now, right? So the future of art is in Ghana, let's say the next 10 years, is beautiful. There are a lot of people who are also who are learning art in academia, right, and expressing it. A lot of people doing so many wonderful exhibitions, and I think it's a beautiful time to be an artist in Ghana. But all I would like to say is, if you want to be an artist, especially in Ghana, you should start well by not jumping straight into it. Art, you should understand art as a business, right? Because even though it might be a lifestyle, it's also a business. And if you choose the lifestyle over business, right, entirely over business, you might end up losing and not understanding what I'm saying now, because there will be much prospect, right, for almost every kind of art so far as the
Mm.
next 10 years is concerned. Yeah, a lot of things are happening from the school. A lot of education is happening, like on the street, from the school, like through other workshops, exhibitions, and all that. And I don't know if it was like that, but we have a lot of conversations, a lot of things like that right now, which means that the mindset of the average artist is changing, right, for the good. For the mindset of the average artist is understanding the sustainability of art in itself, right, and what needs to be done. A lot of people are also becoming, I don't want to use the word progressive, but they are becoming more reactive to things that are happening now, right, and using their art to do, in quotes, meaningful things for the society, right, in general. And that is the future of commerce itself, or even commerce itself, or even the whole, like the whole economy, or the social economic grounds of the whole earth. In the next 10 years, what you have that is necessary for the society economically works, and that is where art is going. Yeah.
Okay. I like the way you put things, man. You're an artist and a wordsmith. And also, I want the people in the chat to also know that he's a poet. He doesn't want to talk about that part. He doesn't want to
Right.
talk about it.
Uh,
But I'm going to
we
mention it.
are, yeah, but we are talking about drawing and
Eh,
illustration and things
Yeah,
like
that's also
that.
art, too, brother. That's also art. I'm going to
Yeah,
mention it.
that I know it's art.
Oh, man. But
Yeah, but,
yeah, man. I like a lot of the things that I like a lot of the stuff that you said, man. And it's always good to hear
cool, cool,
that.
cool,
I also have to
cool,
give
cool.
you your flowers, bro. In fact, like you're one of the people who really inspired me.
Good, good, good.
Yeah,
Thanks,
man.
thanks, thanks, thanks. I'm glad I could do that.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could do that. Yeah, I wish I could do that more. I
I
wish I
was
could do
looking
that
at
more.
people like you, people like Elkarna,
Yeah,
Louis Apia. Like I was looking at you guys because until social media, I didn't know that other people in Ghana were even drawing. I didn't know. Like you see,
yeah,
like people draw on this on the roadside, but I didn't know that there was a younger
yeah,
like demographic there. So
yeah,
it wasn't until Facebook that I really realized. Because I remember when El Karna came to Tech, right?
yeah,
He came there for like a little seminar type thing, and I was so excited. People didn't know. A lot of people didn't know who he was, but I
yeah,
knew. I said, "You don't know who he is. You need to go and find out." And people loved the fact that there was somebody like that who was also drawing not just any kind of art, but also fantasy arts. Because a lot of
yeah,
people were
yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah,
portraits, and he was doing fantasy art at the a
yeah,
time
yeah.
like yeah. And you are also doing that. So I was like, oh wow, like there are other people who are into different things. So I have to give you your flowers on that, bro. Like you
Yeah, bro,
don't know.
I
Maybe
appreciate.
you know, but to me, you don't know how much like your work means to people like me, man. You don't know.
I appreciate, bro. I really appreciate. Yeah. So yeah,
Oh
for me, I think that's that. Even though I couldn't finish my artwork, and you've done a lot. You
yeah.
see, no. So no. Why are you putting me in a disadvantaged corner? I'm using one hand to draw,
It's
and I'm
just
using the other
we're
hand to
we're just
hold the
talking, oh,
phone.
bro.
No, but I'm using one hand to hold the phone over the artwork.
Then
See,
we'll do this again, bro. We'll do it
no,
again, and then
you caught me off guard. See. I didn't even wear my glove. Like I think the screen has a lot of like grease on it. I don't know if you even see the screen well.
oh, I can see it, bro. I can see it perfectly. Even I wasn't sure if you could see mine, but yeah, man, yours is incredible. I don't know.
I can
Uh,
see yours.
as for mine, I'm just going with the flow, man. I was just going with the flow and doing what I can, you know. And when you're talking to somebody of
I'm
your
copying
caliber,
you.
you have to. When I'm talking to somebody of your caliber, I have to make sure I'm doing something that looks decent, you know.
Well, so
It's
yeah, I mean, technically that's it. That's it. I think I cannot. Yeah, so I think this way I'll end the drawing.
no
Maybe I'll do
problem,
my
brother.
nails or something. Yeah,
I appreciate you
but
for being here,
yeah, I'm
bro.
still I'm still complaining. You kept me at the disadvantage point. Yo,
Oh,
you
come
shouldn't do
on,
that
man.
again.
I don't. I think everybody in the chats. Please tell him that what he's drawing is immaculate. Tell
No,
him.
it's not. No, it's not even about that. My point is, how do you expect me to hold my phone over my iPad and draw with my right hand
That shows the
and
kind
talk at
of
the same
caliber
time
of the artist. That shows that the artist is incredible.
and
That
talk at
shows
the
it.
same time?
That shows us the caliber of the artist, and we already know what you're capable of, bro. We already know what you're capable of because your artwork, it speaks volumes. That one, I don't need to say anything about it.
But I'm not coming to do one or two things.
Okay.
Let's see what I can do after going off for some time. Let's see
Okay.
how terrible I've become as an artist, or how how I've improved as an artist. Yeah,
Oh man,
I
your
think
art is incredible, bro.
I
No two ways.
yeah. I mean, it might be, but for some time I was not doing it. You know.
Oh, you took a break?
Yeah. Yeah. So all the time I was not on social media. I was taking a break. I was taking a break, but then I got crazy in the last 6 months, right? And I
Crazy.
decided I was going to draw every day, right? So every day, yeah. So yeah, since I'm here, I want to give you personally like one advice. I ran away, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you know what anybody will say when the person is trying to tell you how to be very good at something. For example, drawing. You know, he
Mm-hmm.
say you have to practice, like practice, right?
Yes.
That's the same thing I'll say, right? But I'll say it in a different way, right? I'll say it in a different way because anybody who is a little bit bigger than anyone who says practice does not really show you how to practice, and that is a problem. You know, like oh, practice
Mhm.
more. So I get up and I start drawing circles every day. I start drawing circles. That's bullshit because it doesn't help you to practice well because he's not there to show you. He just told you to practice. But this is how to practice. If you want to practice anything, so this is what I did. This is what I did. I decided to get my character done. So I told myself I'm writing the features of a character, and every day for 30 days, I'm going to draw the same thing. I'm saying this like the same very thing, right? I'm not going to
Mhm.
change anything about it. Now, I start doing it, and on the third day, I realized I am faster, right? And my lines are like clearer and cleaner. On the fourth
Mhm.
day, I realized that I'm getting bored, because it's the same thing. I'm getting bored. So what I did was okay. keep drawing the same thing. If you are super bored, just change one or two things. It means that you are too good now that you can start practicing on your practice that you are already practicing. Right? I know it sounds silly, but you are too good now that even though you are drawing the same character, you are drawing it in a different way that is improving on itself. So just like AI talking it to yourself, you know. So I did that in the 30th day. My character was like a fully fledged grown character.
I
That's the
see.
first 30 days. Yeah, the first 30 days. So I was like, okay, I'm going to.
Hello? Hello? Ian? Hello, Charlie? What's going on? Oh, wow. It seems like we lost him, but Ian, if you're still there, just send me a message and I'll bring you back if you still want to. But I didn't get the last part. Um, yeah. But that was a great conversation, by the way, man. I loved it. One of the best artists, hands down, in the country, in the world. He's the blueprint for a lot of guys like me, myself. So, um, if you are on any social media, you do well to try and follow him. Oh shit! Let me finish this up just a little bit. Nah, it doesn't have the same kind of look that I'm looking for. Yeah. So I want to thank anybody who's in the chat who came in for this live session, who's been supporting me since day one. People who have, just kept telling me to keep going on and keep doing what I do. I appreciate you. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. From the depths of my heart, I mean that sincerely. Anybody who listens to the podcast, anybody who has watched my horrible YouTube videos, anybody who's been like, yo, your art is dope. Anybody who's, even just opened up the website and said, yo, this is some dope stuff. I appreciate you. You have no idea, man. You have no idea. So, I don't know. Let's see. I was hoping that I could have got Kumi Danso in here. Um, I don't know if he's around or not, but yeah, I'm not even seeing him in the list. He's probably busy. Thank you for tuning in, man. Thank you for tuning in. I'm probably let me stay in for just a little bit. Who knows? Somebody might turn up. But it's like 2 hours on according to the podcast timer. It's almost 2 hours that we've been in this, so that's a good thing, man. That's a beautiful thing. Let me just add some stuff to this. I really didn't even think of how I wanted this to look before I actually started this shit. But yeah, there we go. Ah, yeah, man. Not much to say. Not much to say. Let me see if we can get we have no requests in here. Let me see if I can request. Oh shit! That means I gotta take off the phone from the holder. Oh shit! You know what then? Yeah. I think Kumi was saying we'd probably go for Twitter Spaces. So we might do that. We might do the Twitter Spaces instead. All right, y'all. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you so much. I don't know if anybody's still in there. It says 0 people in here, so I'm gonna just go ahead and believe that, which is usually the case. So yeah, if you've been rocking with me, God bless. And we're gonna do this again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being there. Like I said, the What Let's Talk About It with my podcast is on Spotify. You can. This is season 2. I still have a major interview coming up. Hopefully that pans out. If not, we'll talk about it. Thank you to everybody who's following, who's a patronizer of everything we do, man. Thank you to the patrons, man. Yeah, there's also a Patreon, yo. So you can check in my bio. The link is in my bio. You can check out the Patreon if you want to be a part of that. So, thank you so much. Thanks to Ian for being here and coming and actually, talking to your boy. I appreciate it. All right. With that being said, we out.